The Galactic Council's grand meeting hall glittered with crystalline displays showing humanity's centuries of contributions to the galaxy. Ambassador Elena Santos stood proudly as the achievements scrolled past. Medical breakthroughs that had saved billions, technological innovations that had revolutionized space travel, diplomatic initiatives that had prevented countless wars. What amazing technologies do you think humanity shared with the galaxy? Earth has been a beacon of progress, High Counselor Vexithar announced, his scaled form draped in ceremonial robes. For 300 years, humanity has helped lift countless species to new heights of achievement. Elena smiled, but something in her cybernetic eye, a gift from the Proximan scientist she'd worked with, caught a subtle shift in the council members' bio readings. After 20 years in galactic diplomacy, she'd learned to trust those little warning signals. Would you trust alien technology embedded in your body? We are honored by the council's recognition, she replied carefully, watching as more subtle shifts rippled through the assembled dignitaries. Something was wrong. The patterns were too uniform, too coordinated. The display shifted to show Earth's latest project, a massive scientific archive that would make advanced technology freely available to developing worlds. Elena noticed how several council members tensed at those images. Can you spot the signs of the coming betrayal? Yes, humanity's generosity is legendary, Vexithar continued. Perhaps too generous. The temperature in the chamber seemed to drop several degrees. I'm not sure I understand, High Counselor, Elena said, though her cybernetic eye was already detecting encrypted communications flooding between council members. The council has concerns, Vexithar announced, about the pace of technological distribution, about the disruption to the natural order of development. Elena's diplomatic smile never wavered, even as her internal systems detected weapons powering up throughout the chamber. The natural order, or the council's preferred order? What would you do in Elena's position right now? Vexithar's scales shifted to a darker hue. We have concluded that humanity's influence must be contained for the greater good of galactic stability. The chamber's exit sealed. Defense screens shimmered into existence. Around the room, supposedly ceremonial guards moved into tactical positions. I see, Elena said quietly, and I don't suppose humanity gets a vote in this containment. This isn't a vote, Ambassador. Vexithar's voice carried no trace of its earlier warmth. This is a notification. Earth's sovereignty will be placed under council oversight. Elena looked around the chamber, at faces she'd worked with for decades. Species humanity had helped, civilizations they'd advanced, allies they'd supported in times of crisis, all of them avoiding her gaze now. After everything we've shared, she said softly, after all we've built together, this is your response? Betrayal? Not betrayal, Vexithar corrected. Necessity. Humanity's influence has grown too great, too quickly. The natural hierarchy of the galaxy must be preserved. Elena's cybernetic eye registered multiple weapon systems locking onto her position. The guards were moving closer. The trap was almost ready to spring. What hidden advantages might humanity have prepared? One last chance, Ambassador, Vexithar offered. Submit gracefully to council authority, and this transition can be peaceful. Elena closed her eyes for a moment, sending a neural signal through her cybernetic implant. When she opened them again, she was smiling. But it wasn't her diplomatic smile anymore. You know what humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy has been, Counselor? She asked. It wasn't our technology, it wasn't our medical advances, it wasn't even our diplomatic skills. Can you guess humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy? Vexithar's scales rippled with annoyance. Your final answer, Ambassador? Our greatest gift, Elena continued, her smile growing sharper, was teaching others to question authority, to challenge the status quo, to fight back against those who would control them through fear and tradition. Her cybernetic eye pulsed once, sending a signal that would echo across the galaxy. And you're about to learn that we're very, very good at fighting back. The chamber's defense screen sparkled with energy as Vexithar laughed, a sound that died in his throat as Elena's smile grew wider. You find this amusing, Ambassador? He demanded. You are surrounded, outnumbered, and cut off from... A low hum suddenly filled the chamber. The crystalline displays flickered, went dark, then reactivated, showing completely different information. What do you think humanity has planned? Let me tell you a story, Elena said calmly, as the new displays showed hundreds of locations across the galaxy. About a species that learned very early not to trust too easily. A species that remembered every betrayal, every backstab, every superior race that tried to control them. Drop a heart in the comments if you're ready to see humanity's response. The hum grew louder. Around the chamber, council members started noticing their personal devices weren't responding properly. The guards' weapons seemed different somehow. What have you done? Vexthar's scales had paled considerably. We've done what humanity has always done, Elena replied. We prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. The displays now showed massive structures appearing throughout council space, structures that had been there all along, hidden by technology far beyond what the council thought possible. Can you guess what these hidden structures are? Impossible, one of the council scientists whispered. Our detection systems would have seen exactly what we wanted them to see, Elena finished. Did you really think we'd share our best technology? That we'd reveal our true capabilities? Around the chamber, the ceremonial guards suddenly found their weapons powering down, or worse, powering up with energy signatures they didn't recognize. What would you have kept hidden from the council? The signal you just detected me sending, Elena continued, that wasn't a distress call. That was an activation code. Right now across the galaxy, humanity's real technological network is coming online. The displays showed more and more hidden facilities revealing themselves. Research centers, defense platforms, entire fleets that had been hiding in plain sight. Remember those primitive defense systems we installed on developing worlds? Elena asked. The ones you thought were so charmingly basic? Take a closer look. Hit that like button if you saw this twist coming. Throughout council space, supposedly simple defense platforms were transforming, revealing technologies that made the council's best weapons look like children's toys. 300 years, Elena said softly. 300 years of helping others, advancing civilization, promoting peace, and all that time we were watching, learning, preparing, because deep down, we knew this day would come. The hum in the chamber reached a crescendo, and suddenly every council member found themselves unable to move, held in place by fields they couldn't even detect, let alone understand. Share your reaction to humanity's hidden preparations. You thought you were springing a trap, Elena smiled, but you just walked into ours, a trap 3 centuries in the making. Vexthar, still frozen in place, managed to speak. You'll never get away with this. The council fleet is currently being systematically disabled by those primitive defense systems we gave to our real allies. Elena cut him off. The ones who chose to stand with humanity instead of betraying us. Who do you think remained loyal to humanity? The displays showed council ships across the galaxy going dark, their systems overridden by hidden protocols that had been waiting years for this moment. Now, Elena said, straightening her diplomatic uniform, let's discuss the new terms of our relationship. And this time, her cybernetic eye glowed with previously hidden capabilities. Humanity will be setting the rules. The council chamber's crystalline walls reflected the stunned faces of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. All of them now held motionless by human technology they hadn't even known existed. Shall we begin the negotiations? Elena asked pleasantly, as if she were discussing the weather rather than orchestrating the greatest power shift in galactic history. What terms would you set if you were in Elena's position? You can't. Vexthar struggled against the invisible restraints. The natural order. The natural order? A new voice joined the conversation as holographic figures began appearing around the chamber. Leaders from supposedly primitive worlds, all of them wearing knowing smiles. Did anyone guess these allies would appear? Allow me to introduce our actual allies, Elena gestured to the holograms, the ones who chose cooperation over control. The ones who helped us build this moment. The displays showed scenes from across the galaxy, council ships being peacefully disabled by joint human-alien crews, hidden facilities emerging on dozens of worlds, new technologies activating everywhere. Which alien species would you have trusted as allies? You see, Elena continued, While you were so focused on maintaining your precious hierarchy, we were building something else, a network of species who shared our vision of true galactic cooperation. One of the holographic figures, a Proximant scientist, spoke up. We chose to trust humanity because they offered us partnership, not patronage. They shared knowledge freely, asking only that we help others do the same. Hit that like button if you believe in cooperation over control. Impossible, one of the council members whispered. The technological gaps, the development stages, were arbitrary restrictions you created, Elena finished. Tell me, how many breakthrough discoveries has the council suppressed over the centuries? How many species were held back simply to maintain your control? The displays showed evidence of council interference across history, deliberately delayed advancements, suppressed innovations, controlled development. Share your thoughts. What other secrets might the council be hiding? But now, Elena's voice carried across the chamber. That ends. Today, we're announcing the formation of the Galactic Cooperative, a true partnership of species working together without artificial restrictions or hierarchies. The holograms nodded in agreement as new data filled the displays, showing hundreds of worlds already aligned with this new organization. Ready to see the new galaxy? Type evolution in the comments. You have a choice, Elena addressed the council members. Join us in building something better, or remain frozen in your outdated beliefs while the galaxy evolves without you. Vexithar's scales shifted through patterns of confusion and fear. And if we refuse? Elena's smile remained diplomatic, but her cybernetic eye flashed. Then you'll be remembered as the last members of the last council, relics of an age of control that died because they couldn't adapt to change. What choice would you make? Share your decision below. Around the galaxy, more and more species were declaring their alignment with the cooperative. The council's power was dissolving, not through violence, but through simple choice, the choice to embrace progress over tradition. The age of the council is over, Elena announced. The age of true cooperation begins now. She gestured, and the restraining fields disappeared. Council members stumbled, finding themselves free but fundamentally changed, no longer the undisputed masters of the galaxy, but simply one group among many. We did it, readers. Drop a emoji to celebrate humanity's victory. Welcome, Elena said softly, to the galaxy humanity always knew was possible. One where species rise or fall based on their choices, not their age, where knowledge flows freely and cooperation replaces control. As the council chamber's doors opened to a changed galaxy, Elena's final words echoed through history. We stood against the stars not to conquer them, but to free them. And now together, we'll see just how far we can all rise.